Okay, it's just a short little talk about colour and colour theory and what colour's all about. Descartes thought that you saw things because of pressure on the optic nerve, and Isaac Newton thought that doesn't sound quite right, so he purchased the prism and thought he would play with light and see what happened. He went home, shut the shutters, drilled a hole through the shutters, and when the light came through the hole, passed through the prism, it split it into the 7 colours of the spectrum. Then he purchased a second prism and passed the light back again, and it turned into white light. So he knew that white light was made up of the 7 colours that we know as a spectrum. And these are, as I'm sure you all know, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo or blue, violet and violet. And what he didn't understand was that the light mixing together is known as additive colour mixing, because the more colours you mix together, the more colours of the spectrum you mix together, the closer you get to white light. When you mix colour, it's known as subtractive colour mixing, because the more colours you mix together, you end up with black. You take away from white light. So the less colours you mix together, the purer your colour is going to be, the brighter your colour is going to be. And it's something to bear in mind when you're mixing colours, to try and arrive at the colour that you want to achieve with the least amount of different pigments. And that way you will achieve a cleaner, brighter colour. But what Newton did do was arrange his colours in a colour circle. And it still stands as probably the best way of showing colour. There are 3 primary colours, pigment primary colours. They're red, yellow and blue. And if you mix red with yellow, you get orange. Yellow with blue, you get green. Green with red, you get purple or violet. But obviously, there are lots of different reds, there are lots of different yellows, and there are lots of different blues. The primary colours are the only colours that you can't mix. They have to be manufactured. You can't mix a red, you can't mix a yellow, and you can't mix a blue. You can mix a variation by adding colour to those 3 colours, but you can't mix pure red, yellow or blue. The colours that you get by mixing these the 2 primaries together, the orange, the green and the violet, are known as secondary colours. And obviously the type of secondary colour that you get depends on the primaries that you start out with. So if I mix together cadmium red, cadmium yellow and ultramarine, that's the colour circle I get. That's the kind of colours that I'll get. If I choose 3 different primaries, say alizarin crimson, lemon yellow and a cerulean blue, I'm going to get a different range of secondaries. All pigments are either synthetic or organic or natural, or they're mined or they're made in a laboratory. Every pigment that you can buy has a number given to it, an index number, and it's listed under the colour index, and they're standard. Nowadays they list the number, you'll see the colour index number on that tube. So if you buy a tube of cobalt blue, or say ultramarine violet dark, it will have on that tube or pan PV15. That's constant. If, however, you buy a tube of paint, say sap green's a good one, or Payne's grey, both of those are made up of several pigments mixed together by the manufacturer, and not all manufacturers use the same combination of pigments to arrive at Payne's grey or sap green. You have to be careful with them, because when you're doing your colour mixes, if you think as soon as you dip your brush in sap green, you've already got 3 pigments in that paint already before you mix anything else into it. So if you mix 2 more colours in, you could have 5, 6 pigments all mixing together, and the danger is you get mud, you get black. So if the less colours you work with, the fewer colours that you use to arrive at the colour that you want, the purer your colour mixes are going to look, cleaner the colours are going to be.